No bye, no aloha.
Jeez.
What's up, Mike?
How you doing?
Good, man. I feel like we started chatting a whole bunch before we even turned on the tape, so I was like, fuck, let's just get this tape on. Of course, had to bust out the stouts for
Why
Mike's
not,
stout.
right?
I haven't tried it yet.
It's pretty good. It's dark, but yeah, smooth.
Firestone 2017 Parabola vintage.
Vintage even.
I didn't see. I'm really lucky to be the alcohol buyer for Downbeat.
Yeah.
So I get the samples, and it's
Right.
I get a stockpile of samples that I don't really drink a lot of fancy beer. I typically drink shitty beer.
Right.
And
Hey.
yeah. And you were saying you went through a beer snob phase.
Oh, totally. Yeah. So that was just a bunch of fucking kids drinking in a park. We finally got jobs and started having a little bit more money, so
Yeah.
we go down to liquor collection. We didn't know anything about beer. It used to be in Ward Warehouse.
That's
like
right.
back then. That was like
Art's place.
Yeah,
Or
or
Art's
Art.
family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like that was the only place that had like anything outside of the norm back then. So we just buy random shit. We didn't know what the hell it was. Like I'll buy these six. Make our own six packs.
Yeah.
And a lot of awful stuff, but
Hell
then you
yeah.
start getting a taste for better stuff and start knowing what good beer is.
Yeah. I thought so. I was straight edge until I was about 27.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations on that.
Dude. So with the friends that I had, Josh and just, that whole group of friends, I feel like probably the same like you guys, just a lot of like Jamesons and Newcastles and Guinness, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll start with that. And I immediately took a side on beer. I was like, well, I'm not going to drink PBR because everybody's drinking PBR.
Yeah.
Fuck that. And then I stayed away from it for like, who knows, a couple months or something. And then finally I had one. And I'm like, oh, I love this.
Good stuff. Right. Right. Yeah.
Anything you can drink like a ton of in a night. And you're
Yeah.
like, no, that's great. Like Miller Lite is my absolute
Actually,
favorite.
I'm glad you
go-to.
bring it. That's one of my favorites.
Is that your go-to
Yeah.
at home? Like that's just like my like.
Mostly Newcastle. Actually, I drink Heineken Light a lot.
Really? Local
Yeah.
boy, huh?
Till a friend of mine just pointed out that stuff's only like 3.5% alcohol.
Mm.
And I was like, because I'm over at my buddy Steve's house, Steve.
Yeah, yeah.
And we just drink this stuff. And it's like, man, I'm sitting there and drinking for a couple hours and fuck, I don't feel nothing. Then I go out like band practice and we buy a 12-pack of Newcastle. And I'm like, fuck, why am I getting so much
Actually
more lit up
hits.
here?
Yeah.
And then I figured it out.
Have you ever had White Claw?
I don't think so.
Okay, so it's new to the island, but you know the Triple Rock in Minneapolis? NoFX has that song about the Triple Rock, big punk club.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, a buddy of mine was from Minneapolis. We ended up taking a trip out there. We ended up getting to go to the last couple shows. Swingin' Utters played.
Nice.
Dillinger 4 played. We got really lucky that our trip happened to land on the last couple shows.
Yeah.
Anyway, we go in and we're like, let's get some beers and shots. And they go, okay, well, we have Jameson and we have Jaeger and we have PBR and we have White Claw. And I'm like, 3 of my favorite things and 1 thing I don't know.
Right.
White Claw. What the fuck is that? And you look around and everybody in the bar who looks like you, who looks like me, has this skinny, tall can. not tall, but just
Yeah.
a skinny, taller can. And it's white. And it has a little wave on it. And it looks like something a girl would
I've
drink
seen
at the
that.
beach.
I've seen that logo. So
It tastes like a Sprite with half the sugar, like a less sweet Sprite. It's 5% alcohol, 100 calories. Dude,
yeah.
they're
done.
legit. You feel like kind of like a dork when you first start drinking them, and then you're like,
It's like smoking like a Misty, right?
exactly.
But they're fantastic.
But they're great. Yeah, they're starting to take off in Hawaii finally, and I was waiting.
Yeah.
I was hitting up the beer reps, who's got White Claw, and
Yeah.
finally when it hit Hawaii, I'm like, Downbeat's got White Claw now. Like,
That's like the first time we had Zima.
oh yeah,
Fucking like who was it? I think it was Jeff Goo. If you remember him, he's been
I don't know.
old dude. Well, I call him old. Used to hang out back in the day. He was straight edge too, actually.
Okay.
But he was living in somewhere in California and came back and he brought a couple of these. He's like, "Oh,
So
you guys
funny.
drink? You should try these." So first time we got it, we're like,
Sprite.
"Yeah, this is awesome! Fucking, we got all these ideas in our heads." Then we finally got it down here. We freaking put money together, sent somebody like get two 12 packs of this
So
stuff.
funny.
Remember, you could not drink that shit.
Yeah.
Like, after 2, you're like, this is garbage.
That's like so when I was, year 1, year 2 of Breaking Edge, I remember flying out to the mainland, and my dad was pumped. Like he actually, if you see that, there's a book over there called The Beer Diaries. It's the third one from the top, that orange and black one.
Yeah.
Or is it? I don't know if it's called The Beer Diaries. Anyways, it's like
Beer trials.
hundreds of. Oh wow, you got good eyes. Damn, I can't see. I can barely see you, man.
Yeah,
Damn.
good.
That's amazing.
I won't go into my eye thing. I have a trick. actually wear one contact.
Oh,
It's weird. Anyway.
I do want to get into that. But so anyway, he gives me this book, and it's a bunch of beers, and they're all tasted in brown bags. And then they just wrote their descriptions of what the beer was, and they gave it a rating, from 1 to 5 stars, I believe. So he gave me that book, and he's like, "What kind of beers do you like?" And I'm like, I like Newcastle. I like Guinness. I tried a Blue Moon. I guess I like that.
Yeah.
And he's like, cool. And I was like, what's your favorite beer? And he's like, Colt 45. And I was like, now I'm like, that's rad.
Yeah, fucking totally.
But yeah, all that, I got really into, I just got really into stuff that you couldn't get in Hawaii, just like the Zima thing.
Yeah, right.
And I'm
It's
like,
exciting.
yeah, I'm like, I flew a 12 pack of Fat Tire out,
Yeah.
put it all in my suitcase, dispersed it all, tried to hide it. 'Cause it is illegal to actually do that.
I think it is, right.
But they're not really fucking with you. But yeah, I had that 12 pack in my fridge for months, and I would just drink one every now and then. And then White Claw too. But Fat Tire hit Hawaii, and I was like,
Yeah, same.
Okay.
Well, funny, same thing. As another friend, he lived in Colorado, my buddy Keith, and so he'd bring me back Fat Tires.
nice.
And
Yeah.
the thing was, like,
That's a good beer.
having one is like, oh, that's pretty good.
For sure.
The first
Sessioning
time
it.
when they got it here, and I bought a 6-pack, I'm like, I get it now.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorites now.
It's a great one. It's a great one to have a couple of. But yeah, there's some when I get off.
See, we could talk about beer for an hour.
I know we still, and that's fine.
It's a beer show.
Yeah, I got really into a bunch of different kind of beers because I was really lucky to have been trained how to bartend by my buddy Nicole Jones, and I just had her husband Pat on the other day. We all went to New Orleans together.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's just got a different brain than I do, and she's not I'm not the memorization guy. I can't tell you which band had which albums and the members that were in from in 86 it was this member, but then in 1990 it was this member. I can't do that. I'm not, but she has that sort of brain that's like, oh yeah, this wine's from this winery, and this alcohol is distilled by this other one, and blah blah blah. So I was really interested when I started, and I wanted, I was pumped to get the opportunity to bartend because it's quite a step up money wise.
Yeah.
And so I was all over it. But
Funny, I was talking to my bartenders at work today. It's like, this is what I wanted to do, was be a bartender.
Yeah.
I just fucked up and took wrong turns, and now I'm your boss. So
so now you're fucked.
yeah.
Oh man, are you like the grumpy kitchen guy, or are you like a nice kitchen guy? Be honest. Are you barking at people or no?
I'm pretty much the same everywhere I go.
You're like this.
Yeah.
So you're a super nice guy.
Little snarky,
I've always thought you were a super nice guy. I was scared of you when I was a kid. But that's just because Extra Stout was really intimidating.
Yeah. No,
but
I've gone through my phases of different type of guy. Like, I'm actually not even a kitchen manager anymore. I'm general manager, so now I gotta be nice to everybody.
Oh, so you definitely have to be nice.
But
now.
I've had my
so you have to be out.
I
in
used
the
to have
front.
the Ramsey moments and all that kind of shit, and throw fucking food back at people.
Who doesn't?
But
It's
But then I learned over the years, I'm like, that's not doing anything.
It's not, but it's kind of hard.
And
to
I let
avoid.
myself get worked up. You start making bad decisions once your brain's up here.
For sure.
So you kind of
For
learn
sure.
to.
It's good that you know that.
Yeah, well, because I have a temper.
But there's kitchen guys who have, that's basically all I've done is I've worked in coffee shops and kitchens and restaurants and bars or whatever.
Pretty much my life.
Yeah, and man, those typical jerk chef, alcoholic, drug addict kitchen guys. They're the fucking worst.
Yeah.
How do they not know it?
Right.
You know what I
their
mean?
mood
Like
swings and all this shit.
And they never end up lasting as long as you like.
Yeah.
You made it to general manager out of I got out of the kitchen.
From dishwasher all the way up.
Yeah. My goal was just get out of the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't plan to be there, just like you. I didn't plan to be there, but I was like, all right, well, I was working at Downbeat. I'm like, it's a cool place. I like it.
for sure. There's a point where I almost came to work there.
I know.
Yeah, I really wanted to, but it's just it wasn't gonna line up.
Yeah.
So.
No, I know. I remember. Yeah. You were kind of my exit strategy. Actually.
Right. That's what Josh was telling me too.
And I was like, honestly, Josh and Serena, they hit me up, or Josh or whoever hit me up, and they go, "We want you to run the kitchen." I was like, absolutely not. I don't know how to do that.
Right.
And then, guy 1 didn't end up working out. Guy 2 didn't end up working out. After guy 3 or guy 4, they're like, it's just you now. Just do it.
Right.
Just, you know how to do it now.
Yeah.
And
the truth is, man, like working with, going to like the work thing, like it's just somebody who cares. Doesn't matter how much you know.
Absolutely.
If you care, you're gonna do well.
Absolutely.
And people will follow you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all you need. You'll stumble along the way like everybody does, and you'll find your way.
Yeah, I feel like my work mantra is whatever the person who's paying you says to do, just do that thing.
Yeah.
And then you'll never be wrong.
Right.
If everybody out there would just do, people get this idea in their head.
I get a little bit. I go rogue here and there, but
everybody does.
Yeah.
And because you go, well, I like to put a little bit of this in my cocktail because it tastes better.
Right.
People like it.
Yeah.
Or you know what? Like, I like to do this when I make my burger, and it's a little special way.
Right.
But
just make it the way it's supposed
just
to be.
make it the way it's supposed to be.
You can cook your own food anyway you
Get
want.
over yourself.
Yeah.
Open your own restaurant.
Right.
Make it your own way there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, God damn it. I don't know. I want to hear this eye story. So
The eye. Oh, it's not much of a story.
no,
Yeah,
it's
okay.
interesting to me because when you said you do the one contact thing, when we were in New Orleans, our buddy lost a contact.
Mhm.
And it ruined like a couple days for him. Like he's like looking at his phone like this.
Ah, yeah.
And like,
See, it depends on how your eyes are too. This was actually suggested by my eye doctor. So like, I've always worn glasses or contacts. Well, I didn't always. I used to just not be able to see shit.
yeah.
But then I finally decided to take care of myself a little bit. Then I guess I could see close, right? Was that nearsighted? I don't freaking know how this works.
I don't know.
But anyway, as I'm getting older, like fucking like with my glasses on, like I couldn't read shit. So my eye doctor, I'm like, well, I don't know what the fuck to do about this. And she's like, well, I got an idea. Try this out. I've heard about this thing where whatever your dominant eye is, you just correct that one.
Oh.
So like basically, it's almost like bifocals, right? So like this eye's for close up, this eye's for far away, and it's fucking weird. Like the first week you do it, it's like you're just fucking discombobulated. I tried it once. I told her I can't do this. This is bullshit.
That sounds crazy.
Yeah, and then she's like, just try it again. Just run it for a week, and then the second time I tried it, like I'm like, all right, this works. So there you go.
How bad is your bad
And it's
eye?
cheaper on contacts
For sure. Yeah, half the price.
Fuck, I don't even know what my prescription.
Like
is.
with your bad eye, try to read the book on top of beer trials.
not happening.
Right. Okay.
not
So
even
we're in the
close.
same boat.
Yeah.
See, because you blew me away. I was like, you have great eyes.
Nah, I got one good.
And you're a couple years older than me, and my eyes are trash.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Genetics, though. I know some people that. I'm trying to, off the top of my head, I can't think of who, but like, I know a couple people that have just these amazing eyes. Like, what?
Yeah, same here. Fuck those guys.
Yeah, seriously.
Right?
Grow up. Cheers.
Cheers.
Need the Miller Lite for that one.
That's a better chase, yeah.
Yeah. So
Oh, my
without,
good.
I love it.
Yeah.
You just drink a half a can of Miller Lite and you're like, oh, so good.
We just started carrying it at my restaurant. It's freaking flying off the shelves. So
Yeah, I switched over. We used to carry Coors Light, and I was like, people
Yeah.
come in, they go, "Can I get a Bud Light?" And you go, "No, but you can have this one." And they go, "That's fine."
yeah,
Nobody
right.
cares. It's Pepsi Coke.
Yeah.
but I do, And if
I do. I wouldn't drink a Coors Light.
I don't like Coors
If I
Light,
showed up here tonight and you brought me a Coors Light,
goodbye, sir.
I'm on my way to the store. I'll be right back.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say.
I wouldn't leave you like
I gotta go to the liquor store. I'll be right back. I forgot something.
Yeah.
So I just thought of this on the way over here, and when I did the podcast with Warren from Misdemeanor, we actually ended up hanging out for like a couple hours afterwards.
Yeah.
And he started, of course, we started getting sauced up, and we're just drinking, and we're just talking, and I was like, we're way more similar than I ever thought we would
Yeah.
be. And one of the things he blew my mind on, Warren, I'm sorry if this is blowing you up. I don't think it is, though. I really don't think it is. He goes, somehow it came up. He goes, yeah, one of my favorite bands is Sunny Day Real Estate. Do you? I don't know if you know.
I know of them. I don't.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect you to,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't have expected him to. It's a couple of the guys who end up starting Foo Fighters, or who end up joining Dave Grohl to do Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
Very.
I am a fan of the Foo Fighters.
They're amazing.
Yeah.
Probably the best rock and roll band
Yeah.
of this era, and of
Absolutely.
the last 2 eras.
Yeah.
Um.
So I'm old enough to be in it for a bunch of it.
Yeah.
Those fuckers are good.
Oh, same here. I've been with Foo Fighters for quite a long time.
Yeah.
But the question that I got out of that whole thing is there anything that you would say, like a thing about yourself that people would be completely shocked to find out? And it's not a huge thing.
Right.
But I was completely shocked to be like, hardcore punk band Warren. One of his favorite bands is Sunny Day Real Estate. And I was like, that's fucking
If it helps, I was
rad.
listening to the Pixies on the way here.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I like a lot of everything, really.
Yeah.
You know,
and not
like,
necessarily music-wise.
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like anything.
Yeah, Jesus.
I know it's a tough question.
Right?
It took me. I was thinking about it because I was like,
That's a tough one. That's one of those things that's just gonna pop up in some random conversation.
That's how it goes.
But
I wanted to be fair.
oh, for sure.
So I was like, something about myself that tends to blow people's
bummer is
minds.
I'm not really that special. Fucking just a random fucking.
But just like people
random
assume,
dude who just joined a band.
people assume things.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
You take a look at
I've had
you.
some
I'd
of
go.
that.
I take one look at you. I'd be like, I'll assume a couple things.
Yeah.
I see your band. Yeah, that was about right.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
It's not too far off.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, for sure. There's definitely, definitely musically, there's some things that surprise people. Over like big band stuff, I'm super into. I mean, but who isn't? It's good.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. If you're a musician,
Right.
it's going to be less surprising that you're into a lot of music.
Yeah.
Like even if you're like, you know,
Especially-
Extra Stout, 13th Legion, not exactly the same band by any means, but definitely
Yeah,
down a certain road.
for sure.
So I'm not expecting you to be like, oh yeah,
And Bobby Brown. I fucking love Bobby
Yeah?
Brown. Yeah. I
Nice.
played-
Nice.
People laugh at me at work. I walk around singing that shit.
You binge watch any of these TV shows that are out lately, or do you not have time for that?
I try to watch what I can. I've got too many kids, so it's pretty tough.
How many you got? 3, 4?
4 now. Well, the oldest is turning 19 next month, so
So
doesn't-
wild.
she doesn't count anymore.
19-year-old girl.
Yeah.
She moved out or no?
No, she lives with it. She moved out for a minute and then realized,
Yeah.
it sucks out there.
Yeah, I didn't move out until I think 19. I think.
Yeah, I moved out like shit as soon as possible. Yeah, I was out
Yeah.
like 17.
Yeah.
and
Different
then
time though.
screwed up a few times and came back and yeah.
It's hard. I mean, I definitely had a loving grandmother who was more than willing to have me stay, like more than willing to have me stay. You know what I mean? But the main reason why I ended up moving out at that age was because she moved to Waipahu, and I was like, oh, see, you just moved further away from everything I do,
Yeah.
which is in town.
That's kind of what caused it for me too. Like I live with my mom for, obviously most of my life, and then they moved to the Big Island.
oh,
And I was like,
fuck that.
nah, so I moved in with my grandma, and then moved to the Big Island for a little while, and then moved back to my grandma, and then grandma moved, and then I was like, well, fuck, now I'm out.
Yeah.
That's it. So
Was your shit all in town, or because you live on
Yeah.
the east side?
yeah, I live in Kailua.
Yeah.
But I've grown just all town. Yeah.
Did you where'd you grow up?
Pretty much every edge of town. So like
Yeah.
I lived like off of Date Street for a long time, then behind Kapahulu, then for a while I lived by the convention center. So just circling Waikiki, just
Waikiki.
yeah.
That's different.
Yeah, I guess I didn't really thought about it as Waikiki, but I've always been like walking from Waikiki
Yeah.
most of my life.
So did you find yourself hanging out?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Were you? So Warren was telling me he used to do all these, like the sandbox, whatever, the tsunamis,
Yeah.
whatever the fuck. Did you go to that? Did you go there as a kid?
No, see, as a kid, Waikiki was more of just something to do, like just walk around. It's like really it.
Because it was right there.
Yeah, it's like freaking late at night or something. You come home, it's like I just go through a walk through, walk through the whole trek, come back and shit like that.
Yeah.
See what kind of shenanigans people are up to. This is like more when you're a teenager, so I'm not doing anything, right? And
Yeah.
I wasn't sneaking into like bars or anything.
Same
I was
here.
just wandering aimlessly through the streets. Having
Yeah.
fun with that.
Me and my friends would jump on the 54 bus in Pearl City. I shoot out to Ala Moana Mall, do nothing, have no money, walk.
Oh, yeah.
Just walk a
That-
circle around the mall.
That was the life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just as a dumb kid with I mean, I was raised Mormon, and very much in that Mormon bubble with my grandmother, who had already, she'd raised her kids, and then she ended up bringing me. I was born in California, but she decided to move back home because she was born here, and she brought me with her. And like I was telling Warren this kind of story, so I don't want to go off on the whole thing.
Yeah.
But basically, I didn't have the heart to kind of like rebel too much against her.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I'm like, it's my grandmother, and I just love her to death. And so yeah, we're just dorky kids, like
yeah.
bopping around trying to find it. But like once I found the music,
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
Changed everything.
Shit.
Right.
So what was your first breakthrough into that?
Music in general, like I was always pretty into music, but the punk thing, that's
Do you remember your very first, I don't know, vinyl tape? Whatever.
Funny, my first cassettes I ever owned, I think I was in like fifth grade, was Run DMC, Tougher Than Leather,
Yeah.
and Beastie Boys, License to Ill.
Fuck yeah.
Like that was the first two I bought myself. Like
pretty cutting edge
Yeah.
for the time too.
Yeah, and I was funny. I was way more into rap because that was like the new thing when I
Just
was
like
a kid.
Warren. That's what
Yeah.
Warren said too.
Funny.
Wow.
We're pretty close to the same age, so
Cool.
I guess that's it. And then after that, I went through the metal years,
Yeah.
and then I kind of
Because those loan themselves to there's an arc right there.
yeah.
From Run DMC and Beastie Boys into the metal thing it's kind of just
Yeah,
it eases its
it
way.
does, but the punk thing was, excuse me. How that happened was, so in high school, so a bunch of my friends I hung out with, like I was a metal kid. There was one of my good friends, Ryan, who started hanging out with the punks, and he's like, you got to go to this place, the Back Door.
Where's the surf spot or
No, it's actually a club back in the
Okay.
Late 80s, where like that's where BYK, Broken Man.
14.5%.
Oh fuck yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
no
do that.
joke. I'm like I just was like, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but
go
I was
ahead.
like, I'm feeling a little bit buzzed.
Yeah.
Oh, 14.5?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
that'll
why.
do it, right.
Okay, and that shot.
Yeah, that'll
Anyway, sorry.
No,
So Backdoor, Broken Man.
yeah, so that was the place where all those, and I didn't know shit about it, right? So like, me and a couple buddies from high school got dropped off by my friend Ryan's mom. I think.
Where was this?
It was down by the airport.
Okay. So like by where Otto was doing his shit.
For a little bit further up, but yeah, like that was kind of like I kind of caught the tail end of that, but that was like the mecca then.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, it's like they're like, oh, the metal bands play there. So I'm like, oh, metal bands. There was no fucking metal bands there, but I think the first band I really got into there was MUG, like Mike Silva. All those
A little
guys.
bit before my time.
Yeah, yeah. But that changed everything because then it's like I look at the stage and it's like these are fucking kids like me, and they're fucking killing it.
Yeah.
Holy shit, like
Did it feel like it really felt like the connection was that close?
Yeah.
Like you felt like they're approachable?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, the whole thing was super intimidating because it was pretty violent back then too, and there were some fights and shit.
Yeah,
like
that's what I'm hearing.
And like that was kind of what was cool about walking in. Like you're just fucking butterflies. You're like, oh my
Mm-hmm.
god, I can't believe I'm going into this place. And you go there and you see your first real pit.
I love hearing you say this so much because it just that's how I felt going to
that's-
see Extra Stout.
That's how we were all, and that's the thing, right? It's all that thing, and that's what makes it special for you when you get in.
yeah, dude.
Become a part of it,
It's
right?
rad.
And that was the same way I felt. Like I remember the first pit, I was like watching it, and it wasn't a super violent pit.
So
but
how old?
I was-
Like 16, 17?
I was
Or
15.
15.
Yeah.
Damn, yeah.
And yeah, I watched fucking one Marine dude with a bloody nose in the bathroom. I'm like, fuck this, I'm not doing this.
yeah.
And then the four guys I'm with, the last one standing on the side. My friend Paul Fanning, he jumps in and he's going. I'm like, oh, fuck, what do I do now? And I went, and it's the time of my life, and that just changed everything.
Yeah.
Like, from that day, like I was
That's
like,
how it
what
yep.
is this? And I got to find this.
Yep.
Because it's like then you start listening. I go back and I put on a Nuclear Assault, and I'm like, what are these guys even talking about? All these fucking guys with hair you can't grow.
Yeah.
Playing shit you can't play.
Oh,
Talking
man.
about shit. I have fucking dragons and shit. I don't know about dragons.
Yeah.
Then it's like, and then the punk thing just made so much more sense, and I just fucking 2 feet head first, and that's been ever since.
So
That's
great.
the music story.
It's so great. I mean, I feel like the story always ends up being pretty similar. Fucking Warren, his first punk show was Black Flag and
Fuck.
oh wait, did he say? I could be wrong. Black Flag might have been wrong. Sorry. If I'm, but for sure Descendants.
Yeah.
I think it was Black Flag Descendants, and if I'm getting Black Flag wrong, it was absolutely at least Descendants.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Still, it's
I was
awesome.
sitting here talking to him, and I'm like,
And that's seeing them when they
you
were.
motherfucker, your first punk show.
Yeah.
He said he was like 14, 13.
Uh-huh.
He said he like in LA with his cousin lost his slipper, and I'm like, how does that happen?
Yeah.
What the fuck, man?
Right.
Like that's gonna change the whole rest of your life, but
Yeah.
it's still amazing nonetheless.
Yeah.
Like so mine was Stickler's Numbskulls opening for the Vandals.
Yeah.
And I fucking, even to, you know, last week or what was it, 2 weeks ago or whatever, like I got to play with the Numbskulls.
Yeah.
And you had Chris play with you. And as I watched, I mean, Tiff was fucking crying on the side. Everybody, I feel like obviously it was, well, first of all, it was Les's show.
For sure.
It was a heavy
Yeah.
heavy feeling, but the thing that I thought was so fucking cool was that, and it wasn't planned, but you guys asked Chris to play with you, and me and Chris are the same age.
Yeah.
And then Numbskulls asked me to come do a song with them.
Yeah.
And when I heard that Chris was playing with you guys, and I was like, fuck. And I told him, I was like, oh, fuck, I'm doing a song with Numbskulls, and you're playing a set with Extra Stout. I was like, that's really fucking cool.
That's super fucking
like,
great,
our
man.
generation gets to jump in on this rad show for Les's
Yeah.
family. And we get to play with the bands that fucking turned us into who we became.
That's freaking, yeah. That's
Because
cool, man.
Chris, absolutely, I feel like I could say this without needing to check with him.
You
like,
don't, because I'm going to confirm it. I know where you're
Extra
going.
Stout
Yeah.
made him who he is.
He's that fucking guy. I felt super weird about it because like
No, it's
he was
awesome.
so excited. I'm like,
Of course.
you're way more excited about this than we are.
Oh, I was when Cliff texted me, he was like, "Hey, we're thinking about having you come up and sing the song Honor in the Pack with us." We know, and he knew,
Yeah.
like he knew for sure that was my favorite song of theirs, and I was like,
That was fucking dope, by the way.
so
Holy
fucking
shit.
fun. And then he goes, "Oh, by the way, we're gonna break into Firestorm by Earth Crisis, fucking gnarliest straight." And you know, I'm not straight edge anymore, but
You
I,
were.
I was straight edge for quite a long time, and I'm like, I remember just like, as the song is happening, like being drunk, and me and Aaron were like drinking like the whole night before the
Yeah.
show until I was like, "Hey, somebody tell me when Extra Stout goes on." Like, and somebody's like, "Extra Stout setting up." I'm like, "Oh fuck, one more shot, let's go." And that was so fucking fun.
That show was freaking. So when I first stumbled into like putting that together, it was, you know, from practicing upstairs from that joint for how many years now, where like that club was, to us, that was kind of our, whatever you want to call it, whatever.
Fast Zone.
Yeah,
Or-
like whatever.
See, I never went there when it was Fast
whatever
Zone,
era
unfortunately,
you're
but-
from and where the club was, that was ours, you know, and like that's kind
Yeah.
of where like all of us first kind of cut our teeth in bands.
Oh fuck.
You know, like Les's first band, my first band.
What was your first band?
Fucked If I Know.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a little known band that
Never heard of
people, a
them.
lot of people hated.
Sorry.
That's all right. That's okay. Yeah, no, that was kind of like, that was like our little, all of us who seen the shit before us. That was
Yeah.
our little world
For sure.
and like it was fucking great back then. Like every Friday night, like it was.
That's Pink Cadillac
you know?
for me.
Right. It was, and so like practicing upstairs from that joint for so long, and like it went through whatever the hell it was, HPU's fucking.
See, I don't. Yeah. Oh yeah.
so
It
we've always been
was.
peeking in those doors.
Oh my god. So before it got turned into On King, which
Yeah.
it is now, it was a fucking HPU little
Like a student lounge or some shit.
Yeah, I actually
Yeah.
fucking played a show in there.
Oh, really?
You saying that triggers the memory. It was some sort of Black Square, like when I was in Black Square, some sort of paid gig to play for HP. Yeah. Nothing that memorable. I only remember it because you said the HP thing, and I was like, "Oh yeah, that's right. It was that fucking room," which I didn't know. I didn't know
what it was.
I had
before,
heard
sure.
the name Fast Zone.
Right.
You know, when you come into the punk scene and people bring up names, and you're like,
You weren't there for it. What is it? Yeah.
"No,
It means nothing.
You're just when you're a kid and you're like, people bring things up, and you're like, "Oh yeah, okay, like, oh what, Wofat? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Wolf
Fast
was pretty
Zone."
fucking fun too.
See, it was just like these are all just a little bit before my time. But
Yeah.
what I'm finding out is like, I thought that the Chinatown thing started way later, but apparently it was
Yeah.
a fucking
Yeah.
spot for punk rock
even
for
like
quite
back
a while.
in the, before my time, like C5 was in I think on Hotel Street. I never went to this club, but that was another place that bands used to play at.
We're
like
on
in the-
Hotel Street.
Yeah, back in the early '80s. I could be wrong. Maybe
It makes
was in Hotel.
sense. It makes
But,
perfect
yeah.
sense. Wasn't there a spot down there called the Garden? Was
Is that the joint? I know there's a place that
I thought there was like
Chris George was running a bar there, and we did some shows there.
I thought there was like
but-
a skinhead bar called the Garden.
That's probably. I might not be talking about the same place, but one of the boys, Chris George, was running a bar down there that like not that far back, but fuck, I don't know.
I don't know. See, it was just like all these things that were like just a little bit before my time.
Right. You hear
that-
about them, but I
hear about them,
but it means nothing
because
because you didn't see it. Right?
Well, like that sounds rad, you know? Like fuck, I missed it. I guess I don't know.
Well, that's the great thing about this. I mean, it keeps moving, right?
Yeah. Well, does it though? See, because
Well, yeah.
that's another thing. I feel like everybody who gave a fuck about that show happening was there,
Yeah.
and you could take that however you want.
Right. Yeah. No offense to some of the people that didn't show up that I was a little bit bummed about, because like going back to like even what that show was initially when it started rolling. Right. This is before Les left us.
Really?
Yeah.
The show was already planned.
Well, it was in the works. Yeah.
Really?
So like it was we were upstairs practicing one night. We were outside talking, and I saw a dude walk out of there. So we go in, and I'm like, fuck, telling the guy, that weird, like, crazy hair dude.
Yeah.
Warren's name. Was a super cool guy. But I started telling him, I'm like, we used to do these shows back in the day. Like all the naming the bands used to go through this place, like Queers, Bikini Kill, fucking, I can't even.
They played there.
Yeah. That was like our spot. Like everybody played there.
That's great.
Any band that came through played there. Like, because we didn't have anything bigger. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's a perfect size, too.
It was fucking great. It was totally different layout. Doesn't look anything like it used to.
Yeah.
But still a good size. And so like my thing was like I kind of wanted to throw like a throwback Fast Zone show, which is kind of what the lineup was. Like, even though I had some bands who were a little bit like, oh fuck, we want to play. It's like, well, the whole point that night was only bands who had members that actually played at the Fast Zone. That's why it was all a bunch of old farts.
Yeah, because I was like, what the fuck? How come I'm not on there?
Right,
but at the
you
same
totally
time,
would have been. I would have loved that.
But at the same time, no,
I would have loved to have a bunch. But the point, like when I first kind of cooked it up in my head,
it made
was like,
sense. It made sense.
I reached out to Jason and I'm like, dude, any band that you can think of that played back at the Fast Zone that we could get back together or something, like help me out with
Corrupt
this.
Absolute, were there?
They played back there back then. Yeah.
Really?
It was a different band back then, but
Oh, interesting.
yeah. Because they used to have different kinds of shows, but yeah, they used to do things back then.
For sure. I'm sure.
But yeah, and that's kind of what the whole thing was. I wanted like a high school reunion for us.
Yep.
Obviously, the whole plan was to have Les there. Funny, the first night I was in there, I sent him. I filmed a video of the whole place. I sent it right to him. I'm like, dude, guess where I'm at? And he was pretty excited. And it kind of worked out well, where it turned full circle for all of us. And it's unfortunate, but just where better to celebrate than the place where, like, I think because he was him and Kevin Jones were like the main guys that booked that place back then.
Oh, nice.
As far as promotions,
Even better.
So like that was. So it all worked, man. And I had a great night. I'm glad everybody had fun there. Cause
it was perfect.
it was
perfect.
yeah, I had some feelings.
Yeah, how could you not,
Right.
man? How could you not? Yeah, I was just bouncing around between it was like people were like hanging out at Proof and there. So
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
like there was a big bounce around.
And that's what it was back then too. So it's fucking great.
Really?
Perfect.
So what was that Proof before?
I don't remember what the place was called, but
Was
it
it
was
a bar?
another bar. Yeah.
But they
had shows there once in a while. Like I remember Generic and Misdemeanor playing there.
Really?
Yeah.
So that was before it was
super
Mercury
small,
Bar.
way before that. Yeah. like at the same time as the Fast Zone.
Fuck.
And fuck, I don't remember what it's called, but I only
That's
stumbled in there a
rad.
couple times, and I remember like those guys playing there.
Fuck. I wish I could. Yeah, I wish I knew because before it was Mercury Bar.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. I mean, because this is like
I don't
obviously
know
we're
either.
talking like going fucking close to 30 years back. Like,
Was the layout pretty similar?
not at all.
Really?
Not at all. It was just I think the bar was in the corner. Like usually if I stumbled in there, I was already drunk from the Fast
Probably
Zone.
no kitchen.
Guarantee no kitchen. Yeah. But I
wonder if
remember
that-
being super small though, so I don't know if they took over something else. It's small and hot and crowded, and I used to be like,
Yeah.
I'm drunk and going to do something else.
I remember. So when
Go to
we
Connie Park, and that was where we went.
where was that? Because people keep fucking mentioning that.
Oh,
I'm like, where the
Connie
fuck is that?
It's up by you know where the UH dorms are?
Yes.
So like to I guess Diamond Head direction from UH dorms, it's just a big fucking park with baseball field.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like by they have like kind of like dodgeball courts and shit like
yeah,
that
there's a
over
tennis
there?
courts up at the top, basketball playground.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that was like our cheers back then.
Yeah.
You know? Like
Yeah.
before people had cell phones, before like any of this, like you just where's people gonna be? They're gonna be at Connie Y. So you just,
Damn, man.
and that turned into a cool thing. Like that was before we even had shows for a while.
There's something so special about that time.
It was,
before
man.
people had phones,
Dude. I think that's a lot of what
Now you got a fucking now you have like a mega computer in your pocket.
mm-hmm.
Like you have something in your pocket that used to occupy a whole room,
Yeah. Right there.
and it's awesome.
I fucking love technology.
I do too.
I'm all into it, but
I do
I think
too.
that's part of what kind of does a little damage to like this thing we've held.
Okay, well, here's what I think is like, if there could be a kind of a clause on technology that's like, it's there and it's fucking rad,
Yeah.
but you don't get to learn about it until you're at least 19, 20. Like, you need to fucking find your way around. You
Yeah.
need to be able to jump on the bus, get lost,
Yeah.
figure it out with
Oh,
no cell phone.
I even
and
used
get
fucking
home
Google
before
Maps on the
Kerfree-
way here.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm like, fuck it. Easy. I got it.
Yeah, because that's how it is now.
Yeah. But we used to have to do it. You know,
Yeah.
like even fucking the punk thing, like it was
You needed-
pre-internet.
You needed a handbill.
If you didn't have Maximum Rock and Roll, you know, you
God.
didn't know what the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
Like mail order, like
Yep. I
Fuck.
remember I don't know if it's the same belt or not, but I have a belt in my closet. I have two belts in my closet. A 3-studded cone belt and then a fucking which I don't wear these shit anymore.
I actually,
But
I'm gonna fucking sound super
Mail order.
lame.
Mail
I
order.
just bought one like a year ago.
from where?
I fucking Hot Topic. I
Yeah.
was just like, I fucking miss my belt. Like I still
'Cause-
don't wear it, but it's like,
But you have it.
but I was like, fuck. I kind of like those fucking things.
Why not?
Yeah.
Why
I
not?
Remember when you couldn't? I bought it. I wear it once in a while. At shows.
Exactly. You remember when you couldn't get one.
Yeah.
And then there came a time when everybody could get one.
Then it got super fucking lame.
Then it got yeah.
Yeah. Like that was the thing, you know, too. Like when everything wasn't so accessible.
Yeah.
You know, like it made it feel more special to be a part of this because, like, to know about it, you had to dig, which I like. That's why I like underground. You got to dig for it to find it. You know,
Yeah.
like even a song we just wrote. That's kind of what it's about. Like,
Absolutely.
it's, but
And it's
that's what made it all being so special. And like, when idiots like us are still doing it, like,
but like I wonder if that can ever happen again.
I don't know. Yeah,
It's possible, but there's people like me putting podcasts out
yeah.
and
Well-
that it's does this mean anything? No. I'm doing this for fun.
Yeah.
I'm seriously just doing this to have a fun time.
Yeah.
I'm doing it to make an excuse to get
If
to
you
talk
didn't do
to
it, we would be
people.
sitting here drinking beers
Exactly.
together right now. Yeah.
You and I, you
Have
know,
never
we would
actually sat down and drank together.
We've sat down together at Anna's and talked a little bit, but we would never sit down uninterrupted for an hour.
Yeah.
You and I would never have done that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't
Well,
mean
that's why-
it doesn't
so
mean anything.
People using technology in cool ways, like this is good. You know, like
I
to
like
me, this is a
this.
cool way of using it.
And this right here, I've done whatever I said I did, like 10, 13, however
Yeah.
many I've done so far. I will always have done them, and I
Mhm.
will always have them on video, and
Yeah.
I can always look back at them.
yeah.
And if I stop doing it, okay. And this is a photo album to me.
Yeah.
It's for me. It's not for anybody else.
Yeah.
And if people are into it, great. And if you're
Yeah.
not, I don't care. It's more just for the excuse to fucking hang out with people that I think are interesting.
Yeah, man.
I texted you and you said, nobody wants to hear what I have to say. And I said, I don't care if anybody cares what you have to say. I do.
Yeah, right.
I want to fucking sit
And
down
actually,
and talk
that's
to you
what
for
was
an
intriguing
hour.
about it. I was like, you know what? Fuck, I go hang out with Nick, have some beers, and
Why not?
fuck yeah, I'm
It's-
down. Let's do it.
Because if I said, hey Mike, you want to come over to my house and hang out for an hour? You'd probably be like, I'm kind of busy, and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I don't know. But if I said, oh,
You know what? I might have just said, all right, fuck it, yeah. But
and also I'd feel like maybe it's just that, like if I say
that's pretty weird and yeah, insecure. Like,
no, I am, and I'm absolutely
well,
insecure.
here's a little secret. Every fucking one of us in this goddamn scene, we are.
All the fucking
And that's what
all the
makes-
lead singers are probably the most insecure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's
absolutely,
I just even think like that's part of what makes our scene what it is. It's all a bunch of misfits and fucking weirdos
absolutely.
that just fold into this thing. The cool kids can't make it because they're like, you guys are fucking lame, and they bounce.
I was texting my buddy the other day because I'm also right now I'm doing this like a 12 week 12 song
I saw that,
songwriter
yeah.
thing, right? And I'm like, it's open invitation. I tagged a few people, and I texted my buddy John, drummer from Rats, and I was like, I kind of feel like this is like dorky, but I'm just doing it just because I want to write 12 songs.
Uh huh.
Because I want to start something new because Rats just broke up, and I want like a reason to
What
fucking
the hell happened
write.
with that?
Our guitar player moved away,
Okay.
and none of us wanted to move on,
Yeah.
and none of us wanted to keep going without him. And
Can't do like extra style, man. Have like 33 members. I'm just joking.
it just
I actually like that about a lot of the bands you've been a part of. I don't know if you know this or not, but I've been a bit of a fan. Like,
appreciate it.
I was thinking about S1 Atomic.
oh
You know,
shit!
And I was like, I remember the first time watching you guys play, being like,
you like this one,
fuck,
Atomic?
I loved it.
Oh my god!
It's like these guys got their shit together. Like,
wow.
yeah, no, for real. And
Don't reference that band because nobody will know what that is. I don't even think you can
y'all
find it.
fucking up.
I don't think you
Did you
can
guys ever
find.
record anything?
You know what we do have? We have a really funny, dorky music video
Yeah.
that we
Nice.
shot in Chinatown for the song called Three
Is
Strikes.
that on YouTube?
It is.
I'm
So
gonna find it.
that can be found. That can be found. See,
I want that to be the segue leading out of this.
no.
podcast.
I don't want that.
You fucker.
I don't want that to happen at all. To me, so one of my things is I never like to if somebody gives me a compliment, I just take the compliment.
I've learned that through the years. It's not easy.
But
you play in bands. It's easy. You know that you fucking had to you just fucking went through a bunch of shit. It was a shit show up there. And they're like, fucking great show. And you're like, no, it really
we fucked
wasn't.
up
And
or whatever.
then you're ruining that person's experience.
see,
So
I'm so
shut your
God
mouth and
Damn
just
it!
take
See,
it.
I love that. Yes, because
Yeah.
that's exactly.
Because I did that for fucking like 15 years of like,
Yeah.
no, this fucking guy, it's shut up. Just
But,
shut up and let
um,
them enjoy it, man.
But I'm gonna ruin your fucking S1 Atomic experience. To me, S1 Atomic was just a fucking blatant rancid ripoff, and we
Maybe
were
that's why I liked it so much.
maybe
I didn't really get that though, but hey, but you know that's
I mean, as
that's the thing of interpretation too.
looking back on what I was doing, I look at myself and I'm like, what were you doing? Like, to me, Rats was my favorite,
I
most
love Rats.
organic band
Yeah.
that I like. I don't know if that's the right word, but it just made the most sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my voice felt right, even though it sounded like I was fucking grinding my voice in a fucking pencil
Yeah.
sharpener. It felt better to me. Like, I'm not a good singer. I'd rather just go
neither. Yeah.
like, I'd rather just do that. like Hell Caminos, I try to sing. I feel like a fucking
Yeah.
dork trying to sing. I'm
That's
not
a-
a good singer.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'd rather just grind it.
Yeah, same here. I'll do some karaoke with like Cam and shit, but
Fuck it. Oh my
yeah,
god.
I'm not. Yeah,
I'm
not
fucking
that
up,
guy.
dude. Cam, I'm supposed to. I need to fucking do this. I have a couple days left. I need to get on the Go Jimmy Go doc because Cam's been hitting me up for quite a while, and he's like, "Can you send me a video of you saying like answer these questions for the Go Jimmy Go documentary?"
Are you the one holding this up? Because I put my fucking money in the GoFundMe, and I'm waiting. Is it you?
It's me.
Jesus,
I'm fucking
Nick.
the whole thing up. I saw Cam at Anna's, and I was like, "Hey, will you be on my podcast?" And by the way, Mike, how dare you?
Oh yeah, I dare. Yeah, I get used to that.
And he goes, and I said, "I'm so sorry. I fucking blew it on the Go Jimmy Go documentary. I the deadline was blown, and I fucked up. But I'd like to have you on my podcast because you're an interesting guy who's been playing music in Hawaii for a long time."
That guy is a fucking riot to hang
Dude.
out with and talk to.
He's so, it's like,
I can tell you stories about that guy, like back at like Formula 660 days. Fever Boner.
yeah,
That band.
yeah.
I still
yeah.
actually have an unstuck Fever Boner sticker. I
Woo!
keep special. I want to put it on something, but I can't. It's been sitting
How
there.
could you if
Right.
you only have one left?
Yeah,
I'm
and,
a sticker
So
saver
he used to
too.
do a thing where he'd like, most of my stickers are actually in a box. I don't stick them on anything. All the fucking bands.
I want to give you a bunch of stickers. I want to give you
Yeah.
a pile so you can save
Actually stick
one
one.
and stick them somewhere.
Fair enough. That's good.
You want to take another shot or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he used to do this thing where he'd light his ass on fire.
Jesse Wagner does that too.
Does he?
Yeah.
You know where? I bet you don't know where he learned it, because this is predating those fucking guys hanging out with the Agrolites. So he'd do that because he played bass and Fever Boner, or he sang too. But that was a fucking great band, by the way.
I never
Like,
saw him.
holy shit.
I'm ashamed.
Well, you couldn't. You weren't there.
Yeah.
You know. So
I was here. I was just maybe
like 12,
13. Yeah.
yeah, it's not your fault. But so he'd fucking put a bunch of lighter fluid on his ass and you light it on fire.
Oh, lighter fluid
No,
too.
like literally, like light his ass on
But
fire.
will you blow a fart out of it?
No.
Oh,
But there was one
okay,
show we were
okay,
doing
okay.
at Formula 660, and it was actually Corey. He's
Shout out to Corey.
Yeah.
Because I know you're actually listening. You're one of the only people that I know listens to this. I love you. I'm still waiting for my whiskey, by the way. I'm ready for it.
because Corey got nothing but time on his hands.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So, fucking Corey tells that story better, so maybe I won't go too far, but I was there and witnessed it. So fucking Corey's on the side of the stage, fucking spraying all the shit, and Cam's like, "Oh, keep going." And finally, like, "Okay, light it." Lights it up, and it got so fucking out of control where he couldn't put it out. And then it was like fucking panic time. His ass is on fire.
Fuck.
Oh, just fucking shenanigans. It was good times.
Was he the singer for Fever Boner?
Yeah, I think they. I'm sorry, Cam. Trying to remember back. Like, I think they took turns singing, but like one of my favorite songs of all time that I always wanted to cover is "She Wants Me to Die," and
You should do it.
oh, dude,
You
I
should
think
do
we
it.
will one day.
I think one of the best things you can do, like, okay, so not to be like we're the best, but it was one of the things that we did that made me feel really happy, and I saw the biggest smile on Josh's face I've ever seen. Is Josh goes, "Hey, can Hell Caminos play the show?" And I was like, "Fuck, I don't know," because at the time, and still, like we play like twice a year,
Yeah.
3 times a year. And he was like, "Can you guys play the show?" And I was like, I don't know. We don't really practice regularly, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? And like
There was stuff slapping together with.
those guys like to practice, you know, especially Mike. Like they like to. I mean, I guess I should like to feel good. I'm very like, I don't give a fuck. I'll just play. Like
Yeah.
It might sound like shit, but Mike's the one that keeps us making sure that we practice.
Well, that's the thing in a band. Everybody's got their role.
Yeah.
Like, it's always funny the dynamic. But go on.
Well, anyway, yeah, Josh just asked us to play the show, and we were like, okay, how long of a set do you want? Like, can we just do like a 20-minute set, like something really short,
Yeah.
you know? And he's like, yeah, that's cool. I can't remember what the show was. We end up playing and we go, Josh, are you going to be, you asked us to play the show. You have to be there for the show. And he's like, oh, I'll see if I can make it. And I was like, I don't know how I stressed it to him, but I made it very clear, like, you have to be there for this show.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, okay, he's got a kid and shit. And I'm like, you have to be there for the show.
Yeah.
He's like, okay. And anyway, we had a 4-song set. We played nothing. We played nothing but 86. We played 4 86 list songs.
That's awesome.
And we played the first song, and Josh, and I remember him telling me later, he was like, oh, that's funny. They're opening with an 86 list song. We played the second song, and he's like, oh, they're playing another 86 list song. We played the third song, and I look over at him, and I'm like, how are you not on stage yet? Just take the mic. Just take the fucking mic. And I think he either came up like halfway through the third song or like the beginning of the fourth song. And he sent us like a fucking essay for a text message after the show, like, that was so cool. And I was like, yeah, man, that's what's up,
man.
Dude. Like, if anybody ever covered a song that I wrote, I'd be like, are you fucking kidding me? So,
right, I feel you.
If you ever have the urge to cover a homie song, fucking do that shit.
And you know what? Actually, that was funny. There's a rule we had in 13th Legion when we started, that we wouldn't do any other cover songs except for Hawaii bands. And if you've seen us play, we don't do any cover songs.
Right.
When we
I was just about to say,
when we started, we used to do this song by this band Tarask. It's a local band from the 80s that we loved. And we played that probably like 3 or 4 times. And like, still, like, I'm friends with Matt, the guy who wrote the song. And he was like, what was funny, he didn't realize it was me. He heard that somebody was covering one of his songs.
Sick.
And blown away. And then we ended up chatting. He's all like, that was you guys? I'm like, yeah, man. Like, that's the shit I grew up on. And he was just fucking almost cried. I felt, wow, And since then, we haven't done any others except for now we're playing one of Les's.
Good.
But that's going to be played forever now. But that was our thing. It's like, we can play songs by all these other motherfuckers, but there's so many good bands out of Hawaii. Like, our thing was actually a little bit more like the throwback to stuff, the bands that we liked.
Yeah.
That we grew up on, like cover them. And, but we've never gotten around. We're terrible at writing cover songs. Because if you know Extra Stout, I love doing cover songs.
Yeah?
Fucking all day long.
Well, like Ramones. What else do you...
What, Stout?
Yeah.
Fuck, goddamn. There was always at least one cover song in every Stout show. So we did.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Swingin' Utters. I'm sorry, that was Fuck If I Know. My first band, we used to cover Swingin' Utters. Two of their songs.
I always remember 50th and 3rd. That's the one that always stuck out.
But we did a couple Stiff Little Finger songs. The Oppressed. Oh, God, I can't even think. But yeah, that song, that was weird because there was all these different eras of it, little pockets.
For sure.
And
what did you guys have, like 48 members, 50?
I think it's 97.
97
I don't actually have a
members,
count on it, but it's fucking ridiculous.
It's fucking insane.
And even people that came back. Like,
I almost played
runs.
with Extra Stout. I never fucking did. I was so pissed. I almost did. I was when I was dating Erica.
Yeah.
And she was good friends with Vonnie.
Yeah, because she was playing for us for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, are you... Because somehow it came up. Like, oh, Extra Stout needs a guitar player, and I'm like, yeah, story of the year, and I'm like,
yeah, even Derek from 86
on drums,
no, he played guitar for us,
but he played drums for like a show at least.
He may have done for a show. I know there's a couple times where Vonnie was out that people
once
filled
or
in
twice.
for us, yeah. So he may have done one.
Hey man,
I can't remember.
Do I have to try out? Like, when do I get my shot?
Fuck, I don't even know.
Dude,
I don't know if we'll do an Extra Stout show. What
you you better do not look. Extra Stout's never had its last show, has it?
Yeah, we had a couple.
Oh, fuck off.
But we gave up on that shit. We'll come back when the time's right.
You have to,
like,
man. It's too fun.
It seems that it turns out to be every 2 years ish. Which was funny about Les's show. It was 2 years and like 2 days from our last Extra Stout show. Fucking Facebook tells you these things.
Yeah.
That's when we got together to play for the Old First Casuals.
Yeah, I played that show.
Yeah. And,
I have my Extra Stout record
Yeah,
that I got
show.
from that show.
So do I.
that Mike Reed pressed.
Fuck, I can't.
How
believe he
many
did
press?
that.
There was only
I don't
only
even know how
several.
many he did,
Yeah, there's
but-
only several.
I that was exciting to me. Like
That's rad.
my own music
I'm
on vinyl.
so pumped to have that.
Fuck. My
Are there
turntable-
any other Extra Stout albums or no?
like recorded albums?
Yeah.
One more. There's.
I need it.
Huh?
I need to have that.
Okay.
Yeah, please.
It's available on.
Oh, I can buy it.
Yeah,
I'll
it's
buy
on,
it.
It's on Jason's thing.
Okay.
I-
Is it available for digital download?
That I don't know. I could try. I got. If
Jason, what the fuck, man?
if I get off my ass, I can make you a copy.
Please.
But like as far as Stout releases, there's only 2 full albums.
yeah.
Um,
I know Nectar.
and then there's Results of Alcohol. That was Mike Reed's album. He made the cover and everything.
Nice. See, I
But
need to get
we-
that.
you know-
I need to get that.
We fucked up. We never released it. Really.
Really?
We kind of did, but we never did. It was
Just put it on Spotify and iTunes. Jason
Yeah.
can do that.
right. So
He
like
did
we,
that for Rats. I was like, what the fuck?
yeah. So it's
I
out
was
on like on Jason's label, and as a matter of fact, I at that show.
Maybe it's on iTunes.
It might be.
Maybe it's on iTunes
I have
right
no
now.
fucking idea.
I have no idea.
'Cause- and the thing was like the band's broken up, so sell them as cheap as possible. Like whatever it costs
cares?
you, sell
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And so we have the KTUH Live is on there now.
Oh, there you go.
That one's super fun, actually. I still listen.
Those
to that.
are fun.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
we do some cover songs on that, like that.
You have
99 Red Balloons.
Oh, that's
It's
right.
Stout
You
doing
did
that.
that.
Fuck. It came
What
out.
the fuck?
Well, we fucked up most of the songs on that live one. That came out
You
great.
nailed it. You
Yeah.
nailed that one.
Fucking Cold
You guys
Blue.
are on you did Code Blue?
Yeah.
Sick. Fuck yeah. You guys have at least one, if not more, songs on BBJ's YouTube
Yeah,
channel.
he did a couple of those.
I was just the other night. I was
Fucking
just
funny story about
going
him.
back through BBJ's YouTube channel. It's fucking killer.
The IT guy from my company. Freaking I don't even know how this came up. So super cool guy, but he's new to the company. He does our IT shit, and he came. He's like, "Hey, fucking, I heard you're in a band, this and that, and blah blah blah." We're going on, and he mentions his cousin John, and this and that. And I was like, "Oh yeah." He said, "Yeah." He says he knows you. He says blah blah blah. You're this and that. I don't fucking know. And I'm like, "Oh, your cousin John? I don't know. John's a pretty common name."
Sure.
Turns out, boy band John is
Nice,
his cousin, and
nice.
and then like. I was like, holy fuck, I finally figured out who he was talking to. I'm like, dude, that guy's a shit.
Sweetest guy in the 808
Oh,
scene.
dude. And he was so fucking hilarious. Like, just being around. Like, and then, of course, we connected. And then I see him at Suicidal. And I was fucking
Yeah.
stoked. I haven't seen him in years.
Yeah.
But just a weird one of those little connections that pops up one day I'm at work. I'm like, doing some shit. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I was like, oh, that guy. I love that guy.
No,
Yeah.
he's the best.
Yeah.
He fucking. So the last Rat show is not on film, but the second to last is, and I'll take it. Like
Yeah.
that was
Yeah.
like, not to be like we killed it, but like we were drunk and we fucking
God,
drank.
you guys' antics are. It's so chaotic.
That's the point.
And yeah, you nailed it.
I
'Cause-
wanted to. So somebody told me that I'm gonna fail on the band's name, but Nos was in this band, right?
Freak Hunt.
That's the band, yeah. And so I don't even know Nas.
Yeah.
I just know his name. And but Freak Hunt, apparently the whole goal was like get kicked out of everywhere, play until you're 86th, blah 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 blah
It
blah.
was fucking wild, Freak Hunt, by the way.
So that's
I
what.
almost played for them for like a minute.
Oh, see,
I
just
told
like
Mike
me and
Silva I
Extra
was
Stout,
gonna-
just like
I
me
was
and
gonna
Extra Stout.
sew a fucking they had costumes and shit. I was gonna sew a cow tongue to my crotch, and he's like, "You're in." And then we just got drunk and never did it. But
So that was the goal with Rats.
Yeah.
But I don't think we were like. I guess we weren't crazy enough. Crazy enough.
You know, the thing is like everybody's pretty numb these days. Like,
Yeah.
like those guys, like they did get kicked out a few places. Like,
I
and-
think they were probably way crazier than we were.
a lot of times it wasn't even that crazy, but like people knew they were playing and got crazier.
Oh.
Like, yeah, they had that thing about them. I remember one show. Sorry, I was with Les actually, and we saw them at. I don't even know this place existed for like a minute. It was some warehouse down by where Pink's Garage used to be.
Where's
Like,
that?
Oh shit! Oh, damn it, you youngins. Close to, you know where Vibe Asylum used to be?
Yes, sir.
So like in those back streets over there.
Okay. So like Kakako.
Yeah, yeah. And somebody fucking, I don't think it had anything to do with the band. It might have because they had antics. Somebody brought a fucking can of salsa,
Okay.
like a big kitchen-sized can of
Oh.
salsa.
Oh.
That shit got dumped all over the floor during the set. And I remember I had just got this brand new Clash shirt. It was white. And it got fucking destroyed.
Oh, what a pain in the
Yeah,
dick.
I was with Les, we were fucking hammered, and it was one of those nights. But those guys, then they played shows and like Nasa turned on, pissed on stage.
Yeah,
get
see,
thrown out.
I definitely never
But they're wild.
dumped out any salsa on stage, and I never took a piss on stage. So
Yeah, you got to
I fucked up.
higher.
I fucked up.
Aim higher.
I was, yeah. I mean, we were really being tame at trying to get kicked out.
Yeah.
All we were doing, I guess, now looking at it, is people would say you can't drink on stage, and we'd be like, yes, we are going to drink on stage. So we're just breaking some rules lightly.
Yeah.
So we're basically losers.
But it was pretty funny. I loved it. Like the thing fun as well watching a rat show is like there's moments I'm like, wait, fuck, is this okay? Or like, are they like mad at each other? Like it was
Okay,
just so
yeah.
chaotic. You're like,
I like that.
You can't
I
stop
like-
watching.
Yeah, I like
It's-
that. I like that. I like if you were feeling that, because yeah, it was mainly like me and Kat, the
Yeah.
bass player. I'd punch him a lot, or like,
Yeah.
or like
there was moments where
rap
I
microphones.
know
around-
you guys enough that I'm pretty sure you're just fucking around. It's like, are they?
I like.
This is pretty fun. Are they imploding?
Yeah.
What's happening? And
I
it was
like the
chaos,
idea.
man.
I always like the idea of taking it to the level of are we serious or are we not?
And you guys did a fantastic job of that because
Well-
there was I've seen you guys play quite a few times. Because if I ever had a choice of bands on a, stop beeping. I'm not done talking.
I wonder if that was yeah.
But and the thing is like I don't know if it's recording anymore, but just we're still yapping.
No,
It's like I'd be like, fuck, these guys are just fun. I'm like, if I had a choice in like a show I was putting together, or I had involved of a band that was gonna play, like Rats. I want Rats.
Oh man.
Like fucking.
That's a really big compliment.
Oh.
I'm not trying to fucking be like, but Warren gave me that compliment. It's you. That's a huge compliment to
Oh,
me.
man.
It's a huge
thing
compliment
that's
coming
like-
from like old school hardcore punk rock.
Well, nothing will deny your passion, Nick. Even with this shows what you do.
We'll see.
You know what I mean? Like your
We'll see.
passion for like what we do. That's all that fucking matters.
We'll see if anybody.
Who gives a fuck if you're not even watching, so you can't react.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
fuck you that don't.
If you're watching or if you're not,
But that's. the
I mean,
thing
I'm
with-
not like
you're- with your bands. I mean, you know who's down by
yeah.
watching it happen, and fuck yeah. Cheers.
Right
Let's
on,
have
man.
Two cans clinking together.
Dude, all I can say is this shit is just, as far as this podcast goes, it's just really fun to be able to have an excuse
Yeah.
to get people to come over to my house for an hour and talk to me.
Yeah.
And the conversation is real.
Right. We didn't think about. I was like, what's it gonna ask
We
me
did
about?
not-
What are we
no.
gonna talk about? Fuck, I have no idea.
The only thing I
And it was
thought
just-
about was that one question and it was a big fail. It was like, is there anything
Surprising?
that people would be surprised
nope.
to hear about you? And it was like, no. And I was
Nope,
like,
I'm that guy.
well, fuck
Everything
that
you-
question.
Everything you think, I'm that guy.
The one question I prepared. That's what I prepared
yeah.
for you, Mike. That's
you.
what I prepared for you.
Yeah, no.
But dude, that's the only thing is like, all I want to do is hang out with people
Right.
that are fun to talk to,
Yeah.
and I'm interested.
You
in
know, if somebody like if I watched not as many podcasts you guys had, but when I watch, I'm like, that's pretty fun. It's just hanging out and drinking beer and talking
That's
to
all it
somebody
is.
that I respect, and that's true. But and shoot the shit. So like, if it was somebody asked me to do a fucking interview, I don't fucking want to do that.
See,
shit.
that's the
Like,
thing is like,
fuck
it's not
off.
an interview,
Right.
It's just hanging out
Right.
and documenting it. And I did have a friend who will remain nameless, but I had a friend that said, I really think that our times that we talk story are special. And we hang out and we see each other when we see each other. But at the same time, I understand what you're doing on your podcast. So basically he was saying, I don't want to do it, but I understand
Yeah,
it.
for sure.
But what I think is that I
For
think
me, it was a perfect excuse.
yeah, I think that we
Yeah.
get the perfect
Because
excuse.
fuck, how many years has it been? Like that we've been
I mean, you guys
maybe not
you guys
like
played it.
homies so much, but like playing shows together for fuck's sake.
I mean, we could try to figure out when we first met.
It's way harder.
But it's like that would be like
Yeah.
fucking this kind of situation.
Right.
Extra Stout was playing when I first started going to shows in 19.
Well, that's easy dudes you play for fucking ever.
I started going to shows in 98, 99, maybe
Yeah.
something like that.
So that's pretty early stuff.
Extra
really.
Stout was going.
Yeah.
But I remember what was that? Chris, big
Yeah,
guy
Sacco.
Chris Sacco. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was playing, and
That was like second era. Actually, that was strangely enough third era Stout.
And then,
Yeah, it doesn't last very
and then
long.
what's his name? Fucking, God damn it! I'm gonna feel.
That was before Mike Reed was on bass.
Oh, way before.
So like
Way-
Jersey Steve.
See, I
The
don't know.
Skinny dude with
I
the
don't know all the
fucking-
eras, but
Yeah.
what's the guy with the famous fucking name? I feel bad for not remembering.
In our bed?
Yeah,
Shit, I don't know. Somebody had a famous name? Fuck, nobody told me.
is it
Oh,
Chris?
Chris Cornell.
Chris Cornell.
Oh,
Jesus.
Fucking Cornell.
That's where I feel bad. So Chris Cornell would show up when Hell Caminos would be on tour.
Yeah. I remember seeing the videos of that shit.
Oh!
MySpace and weird shit.
Chris Cornell, seriously. Oh, that's my dog, dude.
Oh, yeah. Believe me.
Oh, he's a chef like you.
Yeah. Like, I know him before. Oh, my God.
Oh, he's such a monster. I love him so much. We had so much fun.
Dude, we used to practice. And I don't care if this thing stops. We're just yapping now. So we used to practice at 2 o'clock on Sundays when we first started Extra Stout. That was like the only time slot we had at the studio. And like my buddy Anders, who people have met, played that 2 years ago reunion. First lineup and shit. Anyway, we go pick him up in Anders' van. And he would just be fucking finished already.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, we got practice at 2 o'clock, dude. Or like he's like, or sometimes he'd just be like 2 bottles Mad Dog deep. Since he woke up, like it's 2 in the afternoon on Sunday, bro. Like, come on, like work with us. He was just fucking train wrecked, but he was always funny as shit. Like, because I'm a little bit of a bass player. Like, we had practices where like he shows up, fucking done. And so we're trying to practice. We got a show coming up or whatever the fuck. And his ass just... I remember one practice in particular. He's standing there leaning on the pole in this rehearsal room. And just, boom, floored. Can't wake him up. He's finished. So I have to pick up the bass. Like,
Oh,
okay, and
shit.
fucking finish practice.
And who wants to hear you on the bass?
No,
Give
nobody.
me a break.
Actually, you know, funny thing, when we started 13th Legion, I played bass.
Really?
Yeah, I was playing bass and singing. Because, well, we were just... Funny story.
That was a joke, but I would be fucking surprised.
It is a joke.
No,
Well,
no,
no,
it was
no.
a joke. Fuck you on the bass. I'd be surprised to see you on the bass.
Well, here's what's a joke about it was Corey came to check out one of our practices.
Oh, and he's like,
And he's like,
give me
watching
that
me.
fucking
I'm
bass.
playing bass and singing, and it's fucking awful. I suck. And he's like, "You need a bass player?" I'm like, "Yeah." I just don't want to ask. He's like, "I'll play." I'm like, "Okay, thank you."
Thank you. Okay, so real quick, give me where I can find 13th Legion on Facebook, on Instagram, where I can find you on Facebook, on Instagram, where I can find Extra Stout.
Well, Extra
Just give
Stout
me-
doesn't
just-
exist on social media.
Okay, well, yeah,
So there's that.
bunch of losers.
YouTube, if there's anybody that films some shit.
BBJ, search Extra Stout if you want to fucking get some cool shit. But seriously,
13th Legion, we've got, I don't know any of the web addresses, but we're on Bandcamp, we're on iTunes, we're on pretty much everything you can think of. Here's the trick. You gotta not put the space between 13th and Legion, because fucking Caleb decided to put no space and nobody can fucking figure it out.
so 13
TH.
TH
Legion.
Legion.
Yeah.
Instagram, YouTube,
YouTube, fucking Bandcamp.
MySpace,
We got a
Bandcamp.
new one. Japan, we're coming. But yeah.
Hey, my man.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming over.
Thanks for having me, bro.
No. Sorry,
You
not to
cock-
not shake your hand, but
Cock knocker.
here we go.
Cheers.